Double wedding disaster. Friends ruined their own wedding, but they won't ruin ours.
Okay.
I, 38 male, have been married to Mike, 35 male, for 3 years, together for 12. We are very quiet, nerdy, nature-loving guys, not into flashy displays or drama at all. Let's take you back to the tail end of the pandemic, and since the borders were partially open, we decided to road trip to Gibraltar and elope. The pandemic was a great excuse not to invite anyone to our wedding and just do what we wanted. When we told our lesbian friends, Di and Anne, 45 female and 60 female, what we were doing, they decided on the spot that we were going to have a double wedding and immediately started taking over, suggesting a bunch of trashy, expensive things that we did not want.
Oh,
Diane.
Yeah, I was laughing at the name because it's one name.
Yeah,
Diane.
Yeah, Diane.
You got to assume those are fake names.
Made up
Yeah,
names.
It's also like, is this also saying you wish they were dead? Like I'm
Yeah, I was going to say,
Whoa.
tell us how you really feel.
Diane.
Yeah, that's how I read it.
This is the story of how they attempted to ruin our wedding, but only ruin their own.
Ooh.
1, we initially decided that we'd get a rental car together and split it 4 ways, with Mike and Di splitting the driving. A month before the wedding, Di and Anne decided it'd be cheaper for them to take the train. Well, 6 trains actually, across 3 different countries.
Jeez.
Okay.
I immediately said no. And it turned out Di didn't even have her driver's license and had been driving illegally for years.
Oh
Oh,
my
no.
God.
Mike offered to do all the driving if they would split the rental car with us, and they declined because it was too expensive and instead took the train. Obviously, it went terrible for them. Trains were canceled, tickets were lost, and they missed out on an entire night in Gibraltar because they were stuck at a random train station in the Spanish countryside. As an American, being stuck at a train
I was
station
gonna
on a Spanish countryside sounds so amazing.
Sounds
and
like
beautiful.
there's way worse places to be stuck.
Yeah.
Hey, I got stuck at a train station in Japan one time, and we're like, hey, let's just walk this. This is fine.
I had a friend stuck in Peterborough last winter in the minus 40-degree weather.
Oh,
And like there was no heat on the train.
Okay, that's not
Oh.
nice then.
I know you guys don't know where Peterborough is, but it's
sounds cold.
it's not great.
I don't even know where
Sounds
Gibraltar
cold.
is. So there's a
Honestly,
lot of places
I'm glad you said it. I was thinking it.
It's
I was like, all right,
Is
well,
that
these
even
guys
how
are
we
somewhere in
pronounce
Europe.
it?
Gibraltar? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's right. I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's like I want to say like Spain and Portugal. It's like near there, south.
Okay.
I could look it up.
Watch this
No,
is
we don't.
like Eastern Europe or some shit.
It's in
South
South America. Yeah.
How did they take a train to Spain? That's insane.
No,
actually.
it's Spain,
Oh, okay.
okay.
right beside Portugal. Okay.
Oh,
Or, well-
goddamn colonizers. Still
Yeah,
mad at y'all to this day.
Fair enough.
Mike and I had a wonderful road trip and spent a magical night in an Airbnb in Cartagena. I don't know. Stupid American. On the way there. Their train tickets ended up costing more than half of the car rental.
Oof.
Jeez.
2, we initially agreed to get a really fancy Airbnb in Gibraltar with a hot tub and all of that stuff. Split 4 ways, we could get something very nice. Well, Anne decided she wanted a real hotel and pulled out of the Airbnb plan. So I found a gorgeous little 1-bedroom place for us with a hot tub and a view of the sea. Di and Anne forgot to book the real hotel
What?
and ended up in a freaking awful place by the port. Like
How
a
do you
place for
forget to book a hotel?
Sean, have you booked your hotel yet? This is a great time to ask.
yeah. I did,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Nancy was on top of it. like
Okay,
a month
Nancy
ago.
did it. Yeah, I got you.
Oh, and then we got our Toronto place
Nice.
2 weeks ago.
Okay, I just when John asked that question, I was like, Well, there's one guy I could think of that might do that.
Well,
It's
meanwhile,
like in
ours was-
Scrubs.
Ours was booked like 2 months ago.
Well, yeah. I mean, you guys know this. That tracks.
Yeah.
It's like in Scrubs whenever they go to see Michael Jordan and then Turk was like, "You got the tickets?" He was like, "No, I got the sandwiches." And Turk was like, "No, I have the sandwiches." And then they both start screaming. Anyways, the place they got was for merchant sailors to crash while they're in port. It was on a busy roundabout opposite of a Burger King. There was no bath, no balcony, and it was basic as fuck. It was more expensive than our lovely little place, and they got no sleep because of all of the drunk sailors and the traffic noise. They didn't even get any towels provided with their room.
That's
3.
wild.
Sounds like John's hell.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
not my hell. Well, my hell too. But
Yeah, I
if
was gonna
Juliet,
say, don't lie.
Juliet's
Yeah,
gonna
don't put it on Juliet.
Hold on. Juliet is gonna listen to the story later. She's gonna be like, "Oh, I could never." And you know what? I'm with you there, babe. I'm with you there.
The night before the wedding, we met for dinner. They'd barely been in Gibraltar for 2 hours, whereas we'd been relaxing since the day before. At dinner, things were tense, but Di was really trying. At some point, she signaled to the restaurant host, and a lady came over with a super fancy VIP bucket with champagne on ice.
Wow.
She popped the cork and gave it to Di, who handed it to Anne, saying, "Just like the one I gave you in New York, baby." It was clearly supposed to be a romantic moment. Anne refused the cork, and we all smiled nervously to try and smooth things over.
Oh boy.
The host poured 2 glasses of the champagne and gave the glasses to Di and Anne.
Like, we ain't paying for this shit.
Anne took a sip and immediately spat it out, announcing loudly, "It's corked." We all tried the champagne and told Anne that it was delicious. Mike and I don't really drink, but we do know what champagne tastes like. Anne insisted that the champagne was corked and loudly announced that they would not be paying for it. The host was pissed, and I understood why when she told us it was a €750 dollar bottle. Euro dollar? Is that how
Euro
you say it?
dollar.
I don't know what the Euro.
Like
just
Just
Euro
a
stuff?
euro.
I don't fucking know. Again, I'm from Texas.
Just
Sean says yen dollar.
Yeah, yen dollar. Yeah, when I'm in the Philippines, it's peso dollar.
peso dollar. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it not PD? I don't know. She threatened to call the police, so Di sheepishly paid for it, and Anne sulked for the rest of the night. I was so embarrassed, and our whole evening was spoiled. When we got back to our Airbnb to take a bubble bath and eat Jaffa cakes, I told Mike there was no way I was going to allow them to ruin another minute of our trip. But if they wanted to ruin theirs, that's not my problem. 4. The actual weddings went off okay, apart from the fact that they were still drunk from the night before. The registry office was nice, and I married the man of my dreams. Afterwards, we bought them brunch to soak up the booze and faithfully walked them around the park, taking lovely photos of them. Di had her finger over the lens of every picture that she took of us.
Jesus.
When we were done, they suggested we all go back to the pub and get wasted. As if. We dropped them off at the pub and went our separate ways. I was honest and just told them, I want to be alone with my husband. And they couldn't really argue with that. The wedding dinner. Mike, Di, and I all have fairly casual preferences for a restaurant for the wedding dinner, but Anne insisted on a fine dining seafood restaurant that didn't even serve dessert. I outright refused because I don't eat fish at all, and Anne was insisting on the fish restaurant, so we decided not to meet up. Anne also tried to convince us to chip in on the €200 for a custom wedding cake to get delivered to the restaurant, but we said hell no.
Oh my God.
Mike and I went to the best steakhouse in Gibraltar. I had a 1.2 kilo steak and an amazing cheesecake for dessert.
Ooh.
We had a lovely time, and the wait staff went out of their way to spoil us. Around 8 p.m., they messaged us, "Where are you?" And we ignored the message.
Good.
As it turned out, Anne forgot to make reservations and the fish restaurant was fully booked. But they could not leave and go somewhere else because they had to sit there and wait for the cake to be delivered.
Oh my God.
They ended up taking...
How did they make the cake reservation but not the dinner reservation? That should have been
Priorities.
first.
These two are dumbasses.
These two are bad.
Holy.
They ended up taking the cake back to their shitty hotel and eating it with credit cards because they didn't even have cutlery and plates in their room. They got hammered that night on supermarket vodka, while Mike and I had the perfect evening. We got a taxi home, smoked weed on our balcony, watched the stars, and kissed for hours. The next day, Mike and I set out for a day of hiking in the UNESCO World Heritage Site National Park. It was the best day ever. Mike got robbed and bitten by a monkey, which was fucking hilarious.
Jeebus.
We ate a full English breakfast in the Sky restaurant.
Oh, Sean's favorite.
I got roasted in the comments. But apparently a bunch of people love fucking beans and toast.
Heathens.
I mean, someone has to, I guess, if it's such a staple.
Try waffles and chicken and let me know if you still love beans and toast for breakfast. Try fucking biscuits and gravy and tell me if you like beans and toast. Anyways.
I do have English friends that says biscuits and gravy is an atrocity, which I wanted to fight them for it.
I think they call
maybe they think biscuits are cookies. So maybe that's why they're thinking.
Yeah,
maybe they're thinking of.
Oh no, they actually traveled to the States and then tried it. They're like, "What the hell is this?"
All right, well then he's just salty because we all hate beans and toast.
What's wrong with you?
He's just trying to get some fucking heat. Guess what, brother? No heat from me. You're just living a sad life.
Yeah, eat your beans and toast, you heathen.
You know, to all the people in the comments, I'm happy you love it.
Yeah, I mean I'm
happy you love it.
That was the end of that like segment. We were like, you can like what you want.
Yeah, the Instagram post, cut that out.
Yeah, it did on purpose.
On purpose, yes.
Yeah, you get more comments if you get mad.
Yeah,
you do get more comments.
To quote Stephen A. Smith, I'm gonna tell you right now. We don't care.
To quote Charles Barkley, them young boys are coming.
We coming.
Unforgettable memories were made while Di and Ann fought and decided that, you know what? It was Gibraltar's fault. And they spontaneously decided to leave.
Nah. That's your dumbass.
I think it might be y'all's planning.
Yeah, poor planning.
I think it's poor planning. They booked a beach resort up the coast somewhere in Spain and headed on foot to the train station. Well, the trains got all messed up and they got stranded somewhere in Spain with all their luggage. And it took them 14 hours to get to the resort. They arrived at 11 p.m. and were checking out the next morning.
That sucks.
That's real tough. Mike and I spent a few more nights enjoying our honeymoon and then road tripped home. We stayed in the same little place in Cartagena on the way back, and the host threw us a little surprise party. It was magical.
Wow.
Di and Anne got stranded again on their way home, lost half of their luggage, and caught COVID.
Oh,
Jeebus.
Capping it off with COVID. You gotta love it.
Too long didn't read. Our friends ruined their wedding, but not ours.
Couldn't have happened to better people, to be honest.
Yeah. My initial read, I was like, you know, man, they are dumbasses, but I feel bad. And then I'm like, wait, they just crashed this wedding uninvited.
Yeah.
I don't feel anything at all. This is fucking insane behavior.
The champagne thing too. I was like, okay, they're kind of
embarrassing.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't feel too bad for them.
Yeah,
so
they try to crash
embarrassing.
every single aspect of it. The restaurant reservations, the fish, the champagne that you guys mentioned. Yeah, they try to take control of everything. So I don't feel bad for them at all.
No.
Yeah.
When you were telling the story though, I was like, I can't fathom trying to plan a wedding with my friends as well. Like doing it on your own is like so hard. I imagine doing it with like another couple 10 times as hard, like easily. because there's no way you all have the same vision for what you want for your wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just going to be a fucking headache and you're going to hate each other by the end of it.
Yeah, and I was gonna say too, Juliet listens to our episodes a lot, and this is gonna be nightmare fuel for her, hearing all the stupid steps that they've taken, and then she's gonna go back, talk to me about it. She's like, "This is why I meticulously plan everything."
Yeah,
and I'm like, you know what? And I appreciate you for it.
She's gonna feel so validated listening to that story.
Oh hell yeah!
I'm the fucking best. This shit
I'm the GOAT.
would never fucking happen to me.
Like, peek behind the scenes. We're going to Chicago in a few days, right? I'm long back when this episode comes out. She's like, I didn't really plan it much. There's not a single minute in the itinerary where it's not filled. And she's like, yeah, this is poorly planned. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
We should have got her to do our wedding.
She's the best when it comes to planning. I'm like, oh my gosh, how do you do it?
Yeah. I can't be me. I'm terrible at organizing.
I am just, give me all your bags, I'll carry it.
I like planning, but I leave a lot of minutes like, we might want to take a nap.
We ain't doing that. There's none of that.
I do a lot of loose planning.
Yeah, I do a loose plan. I get hours, but I don't get minutes. You know what I mean? I'm like, we'll shop for these hours. Maybe we head back and get a coffee. Maybe we go to take a 30-minute nap. Who knows?
I like that.
I just because when I do the minute one, it's easy with two. When it's with like a group and you try to do the minute one, they're going to be like, well, that's not going to work for me, brother.
Yeah, I'm getting up at 10 a.m., not 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
Damn, that's late. Get up at 6. Let's go.
It was an example.
Depending on the plan. Yeah. 6. Yeah, we'll meet y'all for lunch.
Get therapy.